When life feels heavy, when every breath feels like a battle and your heart whispers, I can't take this anymore, pause. Don't rush through that pain. Don't silence it. Let it speak to you. Because in that moment, something divine is happening, something only struggle can teach. The weight you're feeling isn't proof that you're weak. It's proof that you're alive, that your heart still beats with purpose. Every tear, every sleepless night, every quiet moment when you wonder if you're being forgotten, all of it is shaping you in ways comfort never could. You see, when life is easy, we drift, we forget. But when it's heavy, we search. And in that search, the soul wakes up. It begins to remember who its creator is. Sometimes the silence from above isn't neglect. It's mercy. You're being drawn back, not punished, but purified. You ask for strength, and you're given challenges to make you strong. You ask for patience, and you're given delays to practice it. You ask for faith, and you're given tests that force you to hold on when everything seems to be falling apart. That's not cruelty. That's divine training. You are not being broken. You are being built. The storm that shakes you is the same one that clears your path. The delay that frustrates you is the same one protecting you. The unanswered prayer you cry over today is the one that years from now you'll thank Allah for not granting, because what He was preparing was better than what you were begging for. But you have to trust Him when the light is dim. You have to believe in the unseen when all you can see is pain. You have to keep walking even when every step hurts, because your journey isn't over. It's just in the part that no one claps for, the hidden silent chapter where faith is forged. Maybe you feel forgotten. Maybe you feel forgotten. Maybe it seems like everyone else is moving forward while you're stuck. But listen, diamonds are made in the dark, under pressure, far beneath the surface. That's where beauty begins. And that's where you are now. One day, this pain will make sense. One day, the things that broke you will become the reason someone else finds hope. You look back and you realize you were never abandoned. You were being carried, shaped, and guided, even when you couldn't see the hands that held you. So don't rush the process. Don't curse the waiting. Every delay carries a lesson. Every hardship carries light. Maybe not the light you wanted, but the light you needed. You think your story has stopped, but perhaps this is just the chapter where the author is writing your rise. Maybe he's teaching you resilience through rejection, depth through disappointment, compassion through loss. Compassion through loss. And maybe this heaviness you feel isn't meant to crush you, but to anchor you. You ground you in faith so unshakable that no storm can uproot it again. There will be days when you'll fall to your knees, whispering, why me? Cry if you must. Even the prophets cried. But after the tears, lift your head, because the one who watches over you never sleeps. He heard your first whisper. He sees your hidden pain, and He knows the road ahead. Every test is temporary, but every lesson it leaves behind is eternal. When you hold on to faith in the dark, you earn light that never fades. So if your heart is heavy tonight, if you feel lost and unseen, know this: you are exactly where you're meant to be. You're not behind. You're not forgotten. You're in the middle of your becoming. Every great soul walked through the valley before reaching the mountaintop. And you will too. But you must keep walking. You must keep believing that even the weight you carry is a part of the blessing you prayed for, because it's making you stronger, wiser, and nearer to your Lord. The sun always rises after the longest night, and your light, yes, your light, is coming too. So breathe, trust, keep moving, because what feels heavy now will soon become the reason you soar. And when that moment comes, when the pain turns into peace and the struggle turns into strength, you'll finally understand that every hardship was not a punishment. It was preparation for the greatness written for the greatness written for you. Every hardship carries a divine purpose, even when you cannot see it. The pain you endure, the tears that fall when no one is watching, the confusion that clouds your mind, none of it is random. Each moment of struggle has been written with precision by the one who knows your heart better than you know yourself. Sometimes what feels like destruction is actually protection. What feels like loss is preparation. When everything in life seems to crumble, it is often because something stronger is meant to be built in its place. Hardship is not an interruption in your journey. It is the journey, the process through which you are refined, molded, and purified. The soul does not grow in comfort. It grows in resistance, in the moments when you are forced to rely on faith instead of certainty. That's where transformation begins. That's where transformation begins. You may question why the path is so steep, why your prayers seem unanswered, why peace feels delayed. But within every hardship lies a hidden blessing, the chance to discover your inner strength, to awaken your patience, and to deepen your trust in the divine plan. Every pain you face carries wisdom that you might not understand today, but one day it will connect like pieces of a grand design, revealing that nothing was wasted. The burden that felt unbearable was actually sculpting your spirit, teaching you compassion, resilience, and humility. Humility. When life feels unbearably heavy, remember that diamonds are born under pressure, seeds grow in darkness, and stars shine brightest in the night sky. You are being shaped into someone far stronger and more grounded than before. The weight you carry is not meant to destroy you, but to strengthen your faith, to remind you that no pain is pointless, no delay is empty, and no tear falls without meaning. Even when your heart breaks, it is opening space for something greater, a deeper peace, a clearer purpose, a closer connection to the one who never leaves you. Every hardship is a message. Hold on, trust the process, and know that your struggle has meaning beyond what your eyes can see. Pain is never a punishment. It is a messenger sent to awaken the heart. It arrives quietly at first. A disappointment, a delay, a wound you didn't expect. And it whispers truths that comfort never could. Pain doesn't come to destroy you, but to teach you what peace truly means. It draws you closer to reflection, to humility, to faith. In the moments of deepest pain, when your soul trembles and you question everything, that is where transformation begins. It reminds you that you are human, fragile yet capable of immense strength when guided by belief. When everything around you breaks apart, pain becomes the voice that asks, "Where is your trust?" It teaches you that peace is not found in control, but in surrender. It strips away illusions, distractions, and false securities, leaving only what is real. Your connection to the one who never leaves you, even when everyone else does. Pain has a language of its own, one that the heart understands even when the mind resists. It speaks in silence, in the long nights where tears replace words, and in the quiet mornings when you rise again despite the weight. Every ache is an invitation to slow down, to look within, to return to the source of all comfort. It reminds you that this world was never meant to be perfect or permanent. Every difficulty, every heartbreak, every loss is a message pointing you back toward the eternal, reminding you not to place your happiness in what fades. When you begin to see pain through that lens, it transforms from an enemy into a guide. It becomes the doorway through which you rediscover patience, gratitude, and faith. There are moments when pain feels unfair, when it seems to crush your spirit and steal your hope. But even then, it carries purpose. It cleanses you of arrogance, softens your heart toward others, and teaches you compassion for those who suffer. It reminds you that life is not about constant comfort, but about constant growth. Without pain, you would not learn resilience. Without loss, you would not learn gratitude. Without the weight of sadness, you would not appreciate the sweetness of joy. But the Creator does not send pain to punish. He sends it to purify, to elevate your soul from attachment to the temporary and redirect it toward what truly matters. Sometimes, the things you thought were breaking you were actually healing you in ways unseen. Pain is also a bridge between you and prayer. When you hurt, you speak more sincerely. You cry more truthfully. You stop pretending and pour your heart out completely. In those sacred moments, pain strips away pretense and opens the gates of connection. It teaches you that you don't have to understand everything. You just have to trust. You don't need to see the whole path. Just take one step with faith. Pain humbles you in a way no blessing ever could. It reminds you that you are not in control, and yet you are cared for by the one who is. In every season of life, pain will visit you. Sometimes as a teacher, sometimes as a reminder, sometimes as a test. But each time it comes, it leaves a gift behind. The key is not to resist it, but to listen. To ask, what is this trying to teach me? And to allow it to refine you instead of define you. Pain doesn't diminish your worth. It reveals it. It proves that your heart is still alive, still capable of feeling, still striving for meaning. When you start seeing pain as a messenger, not a punishment, it becomes lighter to carry. You begin to realize that even in sorrow, there is mercy. In every ache, there is growth, and in every tear, there is healing. Eventually, you will look back and understand that the pain you once cursed became the reason you found strength you never knew existed. You will see that the nights you cried yourself to sleep were the nights your soul learned to pray. You will realize that pain was never against you. It was working for you. It was working for you, leading you toward patience, faith, and peace. The same pain that once made you feel lost will one day become the reason you find yourself. It will teach you that real peace is not the absence of pain, but the presence of trust. Every scar, every wound, every heartbreak carries the hidden signature of divine love, shaping you, teaching you, and guiding you home. Silence in struggle is not abandonment. It is where the soul learns to listen. When life becomes heavy and your prayers seem to vanish into the void, it's easy to believe that you've been forgotten. But silence from the divine is never absence. It's preparation. It's in those quiet, lonely moments that your faith is tested, refined, and strengthened. Strengthened! The heart longs for immediate answers, yet wisdom grows in waiting. Sometimes, the response to your prayer isn't a sound or a sign, but a lesson wrapped in stillness. That silence teaches you patience. It teaches you to keep believing even when there's no visible reason to. It builds spiritual resilience, a trust that doesn't rely on constant reassurance but on deep conviction. You are being taught how to walk by faith, not by sight. There are moments when you'll beg for guidance and feel like no answer is coming, but that pause is sacred. It's the space where your heart learns to depend, not on outcomes, but on surrender. Silence allows you to realize that peace doesn't come from hearing everything you want to hear. It comes from knowing that your cries were heard the moment they left your lips. Woo! Just because you can't see movement doesn't mean nothing is happening. Seeds grow in darkness, unseen, and so does your destiny. When faith lives in your heart, even pain becomes a lesson, not a punishment. You start to see that the storm is not there to destroy you, but to awaken something powerful within you. Resilience, patience, humility. Faith teaches you to stay steady when emotions scream otherwise, to find peace not because circumstances are easy, but because your trust is strong. It whispers, hold on, this too shall pass, and it always does. The storm eventually calms, But what remains is a soul that has learned how to stand firm. A heart that knows how to trust even when the path is unclear. Those who live with faith understand that every wave that crashes against them pushes them closer to shore. Every challenge, every heartbreak, every moment of loss is an opportunity to grow nearer to the one who never fails. Faith doesn't ask you to understand everything. It asks you to trust even when you don't. It gives you the courage to keep moving, to keep praying, to keep believing that no storm lasts forever. When the clouds finally part and the light returns, you realize that the storm didn't weaken you, it prepared you. It taught you endurance, deepened your gratitude, and revealed that dignity is not in avoiding pain, but in walking through it with faith that never wavers. Your prayers are never wasted, even when you don't see the results you hoped for. Every whisper from your heart, every tear that falls in the quiet of the night, every moment you raise your hands in desperation is heard and recorded. Sometimes the answer comes immediately, sometimes it takes time, and sometimes it comes in a form you don't recognize. But it always comes in the way that is best for you. The one who hears you knows your needs better than you do. When you pray for something and it doesn't happen, it's not because your words were ignored. It's because you are being protected, redirected, or prepared for something greater. Every unanswered prayer carries hidden mercy. Every delay hides a blessing that time will reveal. Faith means believing that no sincere plea ever disappears into silence. It transforms unseen realities, even when the surface looks unchanged. There are moments when you'll pray so deeply that it feels impossible for those words to go unheard, and yet life continues unchanged. In those moments, you must remember that prayer is not only about receiving, it's about transforming. It softens your heart, cleanses your soul, and strengthens your connection with your Creator. Sometimes the true answer to your prayer is not the change of your situation, but the change within you. The peace that enters your heart after a sincere prayer is itself a response, a sign that you have been heard. When you trust in the unseen, your patience becomes an act of worship. Every time you choose to believe, even without visible results, you are growing in faith and closeness to the one you're calling upon. What you think is unanswered may actually be answered differently. In protection from harm, in guidance away from a path that would have broken you, or in the silent strength to endure what you once thought unbearable. You may not always get what you asked for, but you will always get what you needed in need. The wisdom behind divine timing is perfect. It never fails, even when your understanding does. Your prayers are never lost. They travel beyond words, beyond time, and return to you in ways you will one day recognize with gratitude, realizing that every delay, every silence, was part of an answer far more beautiful than your imagination could have written. True strength is not found in control, but in surrender, in trusting that divine timing is never wrong. The human heart longs to plan, to know, to shape its own destiny. Yet the truth is that control often becomes a burden that only surrender can lift. When you release your grip on outcomes and allow life to unfold as it is meant to, peace begins to settle where fear once lived. Surrender does not mean giving up. It means giving in to wisdom far greater than your own. It is the understanding that what you lose was never meant to stay, and what is delayed is not denied. Real strength lies in submitting your will with humility, knowing that the one who governs every heartbeat also governs every chapter of your life. To trust this is to walk through uncertainty with calmness, to let patience replace panic, and to believe that even the pauses are purposeful. When you surrender, you stop fighting what was written for you and start flowing with it. You realize that no matter how much you plan, Life unfolds by a design that transcends human understanding. Human understanding. The things you once chased begin to chase you when the time is right, and the doors that once remained closed open effortlessly when you are truly ready. Trusting divine timing is an act of courage. It means believing that what seems late to you is right on time in the grand tapestry of your life. Every delay, every detour, every heartbreak serves a greater purpose, even if it's hidden for now. In surrender, you find freedom. You stop measuring success by speed and start valuing depth. You begin to see that the waiting was never empty. It was where you were being prepared, refined, and strengthened. Letting go doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you start trusting. It's understanding that what belongs to you will reach you effortlessly when the time aligns. You no longer rush destiny, nor do you fear its pace. You simply rest in faith, knowing that every moment is guided, every delay is meaningful, and every chapter is perfectly timed. True strength is silent, rooted in surrender, and radiant with trust. The kind of strength that smiles through uncertainty, because it knows the author of the story never makes mistakes.